The portal that sent me the email. So I don't know if it's your portal or. I believe so, yes. Okay, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. Let me let Gwen in. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to start by doing something that I think we maybe done this once or twice. I'm going to show you how we're going to work on this today. So what I need you guys to do is I need you to go to Classroom. Okay, so I want you to go to our Google Classroom and you can hit the classwork tab. And if you look in the section for this week, there is a material labeled 423 extra slides. So if you were to click on that, it will open up a slideshow that has 2 slides in it. Okay, so once you click on that slideshow, I want you to go back and I want you to open yesterday's slideshow because we are going to be copying these 2 slides into the slideshow from yesterday. So you have this slideshow open, the 423 extra slides. Oh, let me see. Yep, no problem. Thank you, Gwen. I'm just sort of I'll talk through it a few times because I think it might be a little bit challenging for people to do anyways. So what I need you guys to do is come into Classroom. There is a material posted called 423 extra slides. If you open that, it opens a slideshow that has 2 slides in it. We are going to copy these slides into our slideshow from yesterday. So once you open up this slideshow here, let me just let Kyle Kelly in. So you have this slideshow open. You're going to open up the slideshow from yesterday, the 422, 423 task at school. And you'll open up your slides and you'll come down to slide number 11. Okay. So after slide number 11 is where we're going to copy and paste these in. So let me just let some friends in. Let me just make this a little bit smaller. So if we come back to the 423 added slides, you are going to come on the left-hand side and you're going to click the control button and you're going to select both of these slides. Okay, so that both of these slides are highlighted. You see how they're orange highlighted? You're going to highlight both of these slides and you're going to hit Control C. You're going to copy those 2 slides. Okay, and then you're going to come back into the slideshow from yesterday. And after slide 11, you're going to click in between 11 and 12. A little orange line will come up in between. And you're going to click there in between 11 and 12, and you're going to hit Control V. It will paste those slides in. You can match this style presentation. I'm going to do it again. Okay, I'm going to do it again. So watch. I'm going to get rid of these. So you're going to come into the added slide document, slideshow. Okay, you're going to come over to the left-hand side. You're going to hold the control button so that both of those slides get highlighted. Okay, both of those slides get highlighted. You hit Control Copy. It will copy those slides. And we're going to come into our slideshow from yesterday, Irrational Numbers lesson. In between 11 and 12, you're going to click so that there's a little orange line in between them. Okay, then you're going to hit Control V. And you're going to match the style in this presentation. Can I get a person in the, have people in the chat letting me know if they are unable to have this be done. I only want to know if you were unable to do this. Okay, seems like everyone was able to do this. Very nice. So what I want us to do now is I want you to stay, you can close out the added slide presentation. You can close it out because we're done with it. And we can be in our slideshow for today. What I want you guys to start with, okay? You're gonna take, I'm gonna give you 3 minutes right now, 3 whole minutes to do the following. On slide number 12, I want you to sort those numbers, rational versus irrational. If you need that definition, go ahead and look up top. So you're going to sort these numbers rational, irrational on slide number 12. And then on slide number 13, you're going to place these numbers on the number line. I gave you a number of perfect squares that you can place on the numbers that they match with. We're going to come back in 3 minutes and we're going to go over 12 and 13. Let's get started. Okay. If you have questions, let me know in the chat. Good morning, Tyler. We are in, oh goodness, you missed the whole piece of it. So you need to open up the material for today. It has 2 slides in it, Tyler. So you're going to go to our classroom. You're going to go to 423 extra slides. Okay, you're going to open up those slides. You're going to hit Control and make sure both of them are highlighted. You're going to Control C, copy them into the slideshow from yesterday, Tyler, after slide number 11. So you're going to click in between 11 and 12, and you're going to hit Control V, pasting them in. Let me know if you have a problem with that, and then you're going to get working on those 2 slides. Okay, we still have another minute and 40 seconds. Oh no, we lost someone. Okay, we're taking another 27, my friends. Okay, take a few moments to wrap up those final thoughts, please. Take a few moments to wrap up those final thoughts. Okay. CD, Peyton, John Jr. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're looking at slide number 12 here, and we are sorting these guys as rational or irrational. I'm going to work my way left to right. So 54, is that rational or irrational? R or I? Very good. 54 is a rational number because it is a whole number. Remember, all whole numbers are rational. Very nice. Very nice, Kyle Kelly. Very good. Ian, very good. Abby, very good. Max, what about 0? It is rational again. Very good. Nice job, Gabe Jr., Abby Wasta. Very good, Sadie. 0 is rational as well. It is that whole number. Now, what about the square root of 3? Very good, Abby Wasta. Very good, Kyle Kelly. Very good, Gabe. Square root of 3 is going to be irrational because that number inside that symbol is not a perfect square. If you look at a square root symbol, very good, Max there as well. It has to be that number inside has to be a perfect square for it to be considered rational. 3 is not a perfect square, so it's not going to work. It is irrational. Very good. What about negative 43? Very good. Negative 43 is rational. Very good. What about 1.25 or 1 and 25 hundredths? Once again, very good. It is a rational number because that decimal terminates. It ends. It doesn't go on forever and ever. Very nice. Okay. What about this number 65? Very good. We have another whole number here. So this one is going to be considered a rational number. Very nice. Very nice job, Gwen, Abby, Kyle, Max, Jr. Very nice on that one, guys. Okay. Now let's look at pi. What is pi going to be considered? Very good. Irrational, because it is a number that goes forever and ever and ever. It's a non-terminating decimal. Now, if we look at this 14.4, remember 14.4 was considered, very good, Kyle, Max, Abby, Jr., irrational, because that 4 goes on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. That decimal never terminates. Very good. Now, this was another way that we could show this one. If we look at this 4.89, 3648 3729 ... that ... tells us it goes on forever and ever. Very good, Kyle Kelly. So that is a non-terminating decimal. It is irrational. Very nice. Now, if we look at 1/3, 1/3 is, very good, Junior. Very good, Kyle. Remember, it's not irrational because it's written as a fraction. We talk about rational versus irrational. Can it be written as a fraction? 1/3 can be written as a fraction. It is a fraction. It's given to us as a fraction. So we're going to say that it is rational. If you were to convert it to a decimal, then it would be irrational. If you were to write it in decimal form, it would be irrational. But in fraction form, it is rational. Very nice. What about 36ths? Very good, Gwen. Very good, Junior. Very good, Kyle, Abby, Max. That one is rational as well because remember, it's presented to us as a fraction. What about this square root of 71? Very good. It is irrational because 71 is not a perfect square. Very good. Next one here, we have the square root of 16. This one is going to be rational because we have a square root here, but that number inside is a perfect square. So that one is going to be rational. Very nice. Very good, Junior. That negative 25 is going to be rational as well. Very good, Abby and Peyton on that one too to help out. That one is going to be rational because it is a whole number. Even though it's negative, it's still going to be considered rational. Awesome job, everybody. Perfect, perfect. Let's take 10 seconds to get these fixed if we didn't have them correctly sorted. Take a few moments to get that sorted, please. Okay, let's head down to slide number, 1 second. Connor, Cindy, and Nassim is here. Perfect. Just finishing my attendance, guys. Sorry about that. Let's take a look-see at slide number 13. We had to sort these guys. So we were given a number of perfect square, so like square roots of perfect square values. So those ones went and fell on whole numbers here. So the square root of 1 is equal to the number 1. The square root of 4 is equal to the number 2. The square root of 9 is equal to the number 3. The square root of 16 is equal to 4. The square root of 25 is equal to 5. And let me just move my chat. The square root of 36 is equal to 6. So I placed those ones first as sort of like extra pieces that can have this going on here, okay? So we have these roots placed here. So then we had to take these 5 remaining ones and we had to say which one of these did they fall in between. So if we look at this number 14 here, the square root of 14, what 2 perfect squares does that fall between? Or what 2 numbers does that fall between on my number line? Very good. It's going to fall between that 3 and 4. And I'm not going to place it directly in the center. I'm going to put it closer towards which number? A little bit closer towards that 16. Very good. Or that 4. Very good, Abby. Nice job, Junior, Gwen, and Peyton. So it's going to go closer towards that 4, but it's not going to be like directly at that 4. Very good. Very nice job there, Abby, Junior, Gwen, and Peyton. Now let's take a look at this 34. The square root of 34 falls between what 2 perfect squares? Very good, very good. The 5 and the 6 on my number line. Very good, Kyle, Kelly, Abby, Peyton, and Junior. And is it going to fall closer to that 6 or that 5? Very good. It's going to fall closer to that 6 because 34 is really close to 36. So it's going to fall like here-ish. Boom. Nice job. Now, let's take a look at this square root of 2. Square root of 2 falls between what 2 perfect squares on my number line? Very good. It falls between that 1 and that 2. Very good, Gwen, Kyle, Kelly, Abby, and Junior. So it's going to fall between that 1 and 2. So it's going to fall closer to that 1. Very good. Or it can come closer to the middle, but it would be closer to that 1. Very good. Nice job there, Junior. Now this 21 falls between what 2 perfect squares? Very good. It falls between that 4 and that 5 again. Actually, not again, but this time. And is it going to fall closer to that 5 or that 4? Or is it going to be more in the middle? It's going to be closer to 5, but in the middle area, because we're saying to go from 16 to 20 is adding 4, from 20 to 25 is adding 5. So it's a little bit closer towards the 5, but it's in the sort of center. Good. Nice job. And then lastly, we're looking at this square root of 10, okay? So we're looking at the square root of 10. It falls between what 2 numbers? Very good. It falls between the perfect squares of 9 and 16, 3 and 4 on my number line. Very good. But it's going to fall closer to which number, 3 or 4? Nice job, Junior. Very good job, Gwen, Peyton, and Abby Wasta. It's going to fall closer to that 3 because 10 is really close to that 9. Very good. So this is what our number line should look like when we're sorting them. You will definitely have a question. I mean, not definitely, but there is a very good possibility that on the SBAC, you will have a question that will ask you to approximate the value of a square root, a non-perfect square root. So you're going to want to remember what 2 perfect squares does it. Nice job on that, Nassim, as well, buddy. What 2 perfect squares does it fall in between? And then you can sort of place it that way. Okay. Awesome job, everybody. I am so proud of you. So what we're going to do, because we have a little bit of craziness going on, we're going to come back to at the end, if we have time to do this Desmos activity, what I want us to do is I want us to jump first to slide number 15. So jump to slide number 15 for me first, okay? Okay, and we have this activity of estimating square roots. Okay, so before we were looking at and using this number line to help us estimate the square roots, we can still use that number line or the concept of that number line. But I'm going to show you another way that we can sort of think about these square roots here. Okay, so we can think about square roots of non-perfect squares are not whole numbers. So the square root of 4 is equal to 2. The square root of 5, though, is going to fall between 2 and 3. It's going to be a non-whole number. Okay, so when you do that out, it's going to be like 2 point something, 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 go on forever and ever. Okay, so the perfect squares in this chart are 4 and 9. So we have our perfect square of 4 and 9, and all of these numbers in between here are not perfect squares. The non-perfect squares are 5, 6, 7, and 8. Because when you calculate the square root of them, it's not going to get you a whole number. So perfect squares are kind of rare in the way that they don't happen all that often. Okay, so we can conclude that the square root of 5 to 8 are some decimals between 2 and 3. So if I were to ask you the square root of 6, you would say it's somewhere in between what two numbers? What two numbers would it fall? If I said, what's the square root of 6? It would fall between what two numbers? The perfect squares of 4 and 9, or when you calculate the square root, it would be 2 and 3. So the answer would be somewhere between 2 and 3. Awesome job. Awesome job on that, Abby, Ian, Kyle, and Gwen. Nice. Wonderful, wonderful. So let's do a little bit of work with this. Okay. So we're not going to be using a number line this time. We're going to be using our brains, and we're going to be referring back to the number line if we need a little bit of help. Okay. So we're going to estimate the square root of 60. So the estimate. So estimate the square root of 60 between two consecutive whole numbers. Okay, so that's what we're being asked here. We're asked to estimate the square root of 60 between what falls between what two whole numbers. So the first thing that we do is we have to think about what two perfect squares does it fall in between. Okay, so it falls between, we have this table here of our square roots. It falls between, very good, the square root of 60 falls between 49 and 64. So that means my answer is going to be either the square root is going to be between 7 and 8. So if we look down here, let me just make this, I'm going to move this up a little bit. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so if we look at this here, we're going to say that the square root of 60 falls between the perfect square of 49 and 64, so that that answer, when you square root it, is going to fall between the 7 and the 8. Very good job there, Ian. Nice. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of practice here. Okay, so we are estimating the square root of 13 between two consecutive integers. So we're saying what two numbers, when we square root it, is it going to fall in between? Which one of these options here has them correctly? Which two perfect squares does the square root of 13 fall in between? So if we remember, we know that this would be written as, let me do my pen here. I think this is where my pen will do some good. Okay, so if I were to come over here, that would fall between which two square roots here? The square root of what gets me the number 4? Very good, 16. So the square root of 16 is equal to that number of 4. The square root of what number would give me a value of 3? Very good, Connor, Gabe, and Kyle Kelly on that. Very good, Kyle Kelly, Ian, Abby, Junior, and Connor. Very nice. So it would be between the square root of 9. So the two perfect squares it falls between are 9 and 16. Is that true? Does 13 fall between 16 and 9? Yes, very good, Abby Wassa, very good, Gwen, very good, Ian, very good, Junior, very good, Peyton, very good, Kyle. So we're looking at these options here and we're saying to ourselves, the square root of what would give me this value? 4. The square root of what would give me this value? 9, right? And the square root of this would be, the square root of 25 would give me an answer of 5, and the square root of 36 would give me, very good, Gabe, you caught me there, very good, Gabe. The square root of what would give me a value of 36. So you're just basically, you have to decide when they give you the two integers here, you have to say, what would that, the square root of what is that going to be? If you multiply 3 times 3, 4 times 4, and then you say, which one of those intervals does it fall in between? So which one of these options is correct here? A, B, C, or D? Very good, Kyle Kelly. Very good, Ian. Very good, Abby. Very good, Junior. Gwen, Naseem. Very nice. So this one would be letter A, because 9 does fall between, or 13 does fall between 9 and 16. All of these other intervals are incorrect here. Okay, so let's take a look at one more. Let me close on my pen, sorry. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to look at slide number 18. So we're looking at this practice problem now is a little bit different. We need to, without a calculator, order the following numbers from least to greatest. So that means what I want you to do is I want you to take each one of these numbers and I want you to order them least to greatest. So, very good, Sadie, on that as well. Thank you for giving me that answer, sweetheart. So if we're ordering these least to greatest, we're going to say to ourselves, okay, so it's going to, we know that 9 is going to come like least, or the smaller of these two whole numbers. Now we need to just figure out where this one is going to fall. So what two perfect squares does 78 fall in between? Okay, so we can list out our perfect squares. We have 2, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36. Okay, Mr. Man, you got this. 7 and 7 is 49. 8 and 8 and 8 is 64. Very good. 9 and 9 is 81. So my suggestion to you, if you can't remember your perfect squares, list them out and then calculate them. And then you say to yourself, what two numbers, so this is this is 1 here. I'm sorry, Mr. Main was goofy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So very good. It falls between 64 and 81. So what two numbers is it going to fall between? Like two whole numbers when we actually square root it. Very good. It's going to fall between. Try one more time, Max. It's going to fall between.
Sorry, guys.
8 and 9.
My apologies.
Are we good, Miss Sorelli?
Yeah, I didn't know it was muted. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. So we are going to say it falls between 8 and 9 because the 78 falls between those two perfect squares of 64 and 81. So if we're ordering these and it falls between, and this falls between 8 and 9, what are we going, where is this going to go in the order of our numbers here? It's going to be the least. Very good, Kyle Kelly. Very good, Abby. Very good, Junior. Very good, Peyton. It's going to be the least value. So this is going to go in our least value box. So it's going to go the square root of 78. Then what? Oh, no. Let me just send these boxes back. Order, send back. It's going to go square root of 78. It's going to go the number 9. And then which one is our greatest? Very good. It's going to get me a 10. Very nice. Very, very nice. So what you might have to do here, guys, because the boxes are falling in front of these words here. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click on these boxes here, these gray boxes, and then you can right click them, hit order and send to the back so that you can put those numbers over top, or you could just order them underneath. So it'd be like here, here. Are we still good, Mr. Raleigh?
Yeah,
We haven't had, okay, cool, wonderful.
no, we're good.
Well, I wasn't sure because we were supposed to 10:30, so cool, wonderful.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, last little bit that we're gonna look at is on slide number 19. So now this guy is a little bit tricky. Okay, so we're gonna try to figure out without using a calculator. I want you to fill in the blank of the 2 consecutive integers. So what 2 whole numbers is it gonna fall between when I square root it? So, ooh, okay, Kyle Kelly. But remember, integers meaning they have to be a whole number. So what 2 whole numbers is it gonna fall in between? So if you don't know, you might want to create a list of your perfect squares again. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to erase this list that I created before because I'm going to make it, it has to be a little bit longer. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, you guys can make your way out. I'm going to throw people in the waiting room.
Going for a break.
My friends that are at home, listen closely. My friends that are at home, I'm going to throw you guys in the waiting room because they are going to be going out for a fire drill, okay? So we're just going to wait until I pull you back in, and then we will we will start class back up when they come back inside, okay? So if you need to take a little bit of a break, you can take a little bit of a break. We're going to wait until they come back in, and then I'll pull you back in from the waiting room. Oh, I almost renamed you Nassim. And Peyton.
All right, Mr. Raleigh, do you want to take them for a mask break?
Oh, sure.
5 minutes today, guys, because we're doing an assessment.
Oh, 5 minutes.
Yay.
So what I've heard is gonna be like 5 minutes of classwork, so.
Teachers, please check your email.
Again?
Hang on, I gotta
Oh,
check my
wait a
email.
minute. I wonder if you can take them for a break, Mr. Raleigh.
I probably shouldn't go down that hallway.
Maybe we'll try to go
At the end?
At the end, yeah. All right, we'll start with the do now. And don't worry, we won't forget. We'll give you guys a mask break.
Maybe.
You're gonna have one.
You're nice.
Hold on. Oh, I X'd it out. Hold on.
Isn't the assessment just like for the paragraph?
Hold on. It's just a lot of slides. Okay, there we go. Give me about 3 minutes, the quick one. Is Jonathan there?
Yes.
Okay. Is Cameron there? Wait, is she Mr. Raleigh?
No, no,
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
sorry.
And then, yep, that's it. Okay. All right. Are we ready?
Yes.
Okay. Assimilate means to A, spruce, B, absorb, C, mutilate, D, deprecate. Drop your answer into the chat. Thank you, Kyle, for following directions. All right, good. So the correct answer, most of you got it, is B, absorb. Gabe, why did you choose B, absorb? Are you typing, Gabe? Yep, absorb is a synonym. How about, let's see. Good, Abby, because you're absorbing another culture, you're taking that culture and kind of becoming a part of it. Excellent. Okay. Please open task 5 and we're going to go over it. So this is going to be a quote assessment. So what you're going to do is you're going to choose a quote from below, and you're going to decide which one best represents the United States acquisition in the West. What does it mean to acquire something? To get something. So they're acquiring land in the West. Okay, so you're choosing a quote that best represents land acquisition in the West. So let's go through the quotes together. So I'll read the first one. Despite the problems, the explorers made steady progress. Although there were some days that they would only travel 5 or 6 miles, they also had good days. These days usually came when the wind was at their back and they could hoist their sails. On such days, it was possible to cover as much as 20 miles. Once or twice, they journeyed even farther. Okay, the second quote, Max, can you read that one for me?
We must go forward to the fulfillment of our mission, to the entire development of the principle of our nation. This is our high destiny, and in nature's eternal, inevitable decree, you must accomplish it. All this will be our future history to establish on earth the moral dignity and salvation of man. America has been chosen for this blessed mission to the nations of the world, which are shut out from the life-giving light of truth. And our high example shall smite unto death the tyranny of kings and carry the glad tidings of peace and goodwill. Who then can doubt that our country is destined to be the great nation of the future?
Thank you, Max. Okay, the next quote, let's see. Connor, can you read the next one?
Is it we must?
Yeah, so we must so we admire is the one.
We admire. Oh, okay. So we admire those of who did it, even if they were far from perfect, for what they were and what they accomplished, how much each of us owes them.
Good, thank you. And then the next one, a long time ago, let's have, how about, Peyton, could you read that one for me?
We're on the much time is lost, right?
A long time ago.
A long time ago, this land belonged to our fathers, but when I go up to the river, I see camps of soldiers here on its bank. These soldiers cut down my timber, they kill my buffalo, and when I see that, my heart feels like bursting. I feel sorry.
Thank you. And then the last one, how about, let's see. About Abby, could you read the last one for me?
Much time is lost in the minds by those who are led by exaggerated stories of success from a place where they are working with some advantage to flee and seek a better location. Leave the work of prospecting principally to the more experienced miners. There is an excitement connected with the pursuit of gold which renders one restless and uneasy and ever hoping to do something better.
Thank you. All right, so your task is to choose one of those quotes, the one that you feel best represents United States land acquisition in the West. So you're not choosing how Americans at the time felt about land acquisition or how Native Americans at the time felt about land acquisition. You're choosing which of those quotes you feel best represents how it went. There is no right or wrong answer, no. So you're going to choose your quote, you're going to highlight it, and then you're going to come down here and type your response. Your response should be 7 to 10 sentences, okay? And it should include, that's weird, hold on. Hold on, Mr. Reynolds is going to visit us for a minute, but he's having trouble with the Zoom link. Okay. So, I don't remember where I was. So you're going to answer that sentence again. Best interpretation of the United States, like how it represents how the United States acted during land acquisition, in your opinion. No right or wrong answer. Highlight your quote. Type your response here. How many sentences? 7 to 10. And you're going to also need to include evidence from the chart. Well, you can use your chart, but evidence on the different territories that we've discussed. So we've discussed Louisiana Purchase, we've discussed Mexico, we've discussed Texas, we've discussed Oregon. So you're gonna look back, you can use any of the organizers that we've used so far up to this point that can help you pick specific reasons and like why you chose the quote. All right. If you look down here, there is a topic sentence that identifies the quote choice. So you don't need to type out your quote. You just need to have a topic sentence that says, I chose this quote because, and you don't have to type out the full thing, just highlight it here, and then that will cover that. Let's go at this. The second part is that it includes reasons and evidence from at least 2 different territories studied in class. So again, Mexican Cession, which gives us California and Arizona and New Mexico and all that territory there. Or you could use Texas, or you could use the Louisiana Purchase, or you could use the Oregon territory, okay? Reasons and evidence are relevant to the quote that you chose, so don't just throw in any evidence in there. Make sure it's relevant to the quote that you chose, and your response is clearly written and organized. If you use this week's vocabulary correctly in your response, then your score could improve. Okay? Any questions? All right, go ahead. Hold on, Peyton, let me look. For anyone looking for your chart, it's week of March 22nd, and it's task 3 where it says U.S. expansion of Texas.
Yeah. Yeah, just fill out the form, but
How's everybody doing? Good. Okay. Mr. L, you could take them whenever you would like.
You guys want to go for a break?
Yeah.
Yeah, no?
Sure.
Yeah, we don't have to. Okay. Don't sound so excited about it, guys.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Sean. Anybody see her once? See that has a giant distaste for it. A what? Distaste. Doesn't.
I didn't want to. I kept singing about Lego City.
What team was he on?
It was in my gym class.
I never talked to her.
Man,
Same here. I'm sitting there with my. Yes. What a weird.
I was gonna steal the camera.
I think she's frozen.
No, she's not frozen.
Oh, I told you.
You're muted though.
Uh-huh.
I figured it out. I figured it out before you said it. Thank you for the reminder. Yes, I did.
No, yes.
All right. Well, it's been nice hanging out with you, but have a good weekend.
That's funny.
Yeah, she looks like she's gonna be frozen right now.
Yeah.
Looking at something. All right. Have a good
Yeah, I
weekend.
know that. I can, no, you're just
Bye.
gonna start staring off into space.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Oh,
Have a good weekend. Oh my gosh, Mr. Raleigh. Are they driving you crazy?
No, I like this group.
Except for those two. Ian and Max are driving
Well,
nuts.
yeah, there's a few of them, but that's okay.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Last year was so